We're really feeling it this morning. Yeah.
The fourth morning it really kicks in. It started yesterday, but today it's like 100% kicked in.
We're tired.
Yeah,
And it's time to go.
I need extra sugar.
No extra sugar.
Go, buddy. Have fun. Learn a lot. Pay attention.
I'll try. Impossible.
Hey, bud. Careful there. So, Don packed up the lamp for Johnny to take in for the math project today. So we had a little something extra because we forgot to pack it up last night. Good morning, Ruby. Oh, Don has the seats on and the heat on and it feels great in here. The center console decided to reboot itself. It's 6:48 a.m. and we're leaving just a little late this morning. Today's picture is acrylic beads on a light from the Home Depot. Yeah, that's what it was. With some special processing to kind of make it stand out a little more. Always looking for those great reflections. Well, it's one of those mornings where it's touch and go if we're going to get there on time. We left a little late and traffic is pretty congested this morning, so keep your fingers crossed. I am. I think we've made it just in the nick of time. 7:29 a.m. Whew! You guys have a good day. Joey, please provide your brother extra assistance with the doors and stuff.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, buddy. Love you. See you this afternoon for robotics.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, bud. Have fun. Well, traffic was definitely heavy for me coming into town today, but look at how heavy it is even later on in the morning. I'm glad I'm not headed into town right now. So instead of doing my normal drive down Main Street, grab a few Pokemon, go to the house, I am up here in Holly Springs at Womble Park. Someone put a tip out on the Facebook group that Nose Pass, the Pokemon Nose Pass was over here, that it's a nest. And they're right, it is. So I've caught it for me, Johnny and Joey. That's cool. So just checking out this park. Looks like they play baseball out here. Nice in the town of Holly Springs. So just a little something different this morning. Park. So I got out of the car here at Womble Park to chase Nose Pass, the Pokemon, and it's really pretty down here. Some geese. This is a nice park that I did not know was so close to my house. I mean, it's within 10 miles. This is great. Like I said, really nice park. Have to come explore here with Johnny someday when it's warmer. I'm here at the wetlands area at the Holly Springs Walmart, and I just got a pretty cool picture of a kingfisher. They like to eat fish. They're a really cool bird. Kind of looks like a woodpecker, but has habits more like a heron. Really cool bird. How awesome to see him this morning and get a picture. So Don and I are sitting here relaxing, doing our normal morning, YouTube's review the nightly news stuff. A lot of times we talk about energy, Tesla batteries, and today in particular that appears to be happening.
That's right.
So I was telling Don about this accident that occurred on Monday where a Tesla Model S hit a fire truck on the California freeway. I mean, I think those facts are pretty much accepted truths, right? It was a Tesla Model S. It did hit a fire truck in the backside. No one was injured. Now, this article, and there's a lot of them out there, okay? It says Tesla driver who slammed into parked fire truck on California freeway says cars was on autopilot. Well, I got a problem with that. If I get out of my car and I've had an accident with my car, those words are not going to be the words that come out of my mouth. I mean, I'm responsible for my car. Tesla has said drivers need to pay attention. So I'm not going to get out of the car and say, oh, my car was on autopilot. Those words will not be coming out of my mouth. Now, if I'm specifically asked about the car, I may or may not answer depending on how it's asked at the time. But you know, it's just like, why would you even get out of your car and say that? You're supposed to be in control of your car. If you were not paying attention and your car hit a fire truck, get out and say, I wasn't paying attention and my car hit a fire truck. Because nowhere did Tesla ever say that you shouldn't keep your eyes on the road. So that's one thing. Number two, if you read the articles, and I've read 4 or 5 on this accident now, the Model S was going 65 miles an hour when it hit the fire truck. So if I were going to be the media person and I was writing this article, my title would be Tesla Model S driver accidentally hits fire truck on the interstate at 65 miles an hour and walks away uninjured. That's my title. The Tesla Model S hit a fire truck at 65 miles an hour and he walked away uninjured. And that's awesome, right? We know the Model S is a really safe car. I think that's fantastic. He's really lucky that his inattention, which we all do from time to time, let's face it, right? It could be any of us, you know, that he walked away from it. So that's good. And then there's another article over here that was on Wired, and I thought that they did a pretty reasonable thing here. They have an article, why Tesla's autopilot can't see a stopped fire truck, and I'll put the link in the video description and you can go read it if you want to. But it's something to the effect of the programmers have to tell the car to avoid stopped objects because otherwise the car would be braking needlessly all the time, and braking unexpectedly can cause accidents just like failing to brake can cause accidents, right? And it was a pretty good explanation. It explains it better to me when I'm out on 401 going to or from the school and traffic is stopped at one of those stoplights and I'm coming up on the stoplight at 55 miles an hour, why the car doesn't slow down. You know, why it doesn't slow down. So yeah, you know, the only comment I would say is that maybe as a new Tesla driver, 6-7 month driver now, I'm not sure the day that we left, you know, with the car that we took delivery, that I understood that was the case. Now, clearly it says it in the manual, and this article points to where the manual for Tesla and Volvo says, hey, you know, if there's a car in front of you moving and it gets out of the way and then there's another stopped car in front of it, it's, you know, your car's not going to see this, may not see the stopped car. So, but I'm not sure, you know, day one I understood that. Now over time, as becoming an experienced Tesla driver, especially in traffic aware cruise control, you know, I do understand that. But you know, I just hate to see Tesla get bad press needlessly. And right now, if you're using traffic aware cruise control or autopilot, you as the driver are responsible for what the car does, not the autopilot or the traffic aware cruise control. And the NTSB is, of course, investigating this accident. And that just creates headaches for Tesla that I just wish they didn't have to deal with, I guess. I mean, nothing wrong with investigating it, seeing if there's something that can be made better, you know, but not this blame game stuff. Not the politics behind it is kind of what gets me wired up. So most of the time I keep my opinions to myself, but I just couldn't quite do that today. You know, I've switched over from 80s to 80s, 90s, and today streaming, and I just did not get enough of Feel It Still the first time around. Every time they play this song, so good. You can see how good it's looking out there. Don says he's gonna get out here in the yard and work a bit more today too. Meanwhile, I'm headed up to the boys' school just a little early with all of my robot equipment because it's robotics day. Learning to code, good stuff. I feel like I have the highway to myself this afternoon. Goodness, what a difference from this morning. It's a really nice afternoon out there, but it's only 47, so it's not quite as warm as it looks. Pleasant, great for January, but not super warm today. I'm parked exactly where I want to be here on the street today, and I'm going to remember to turn off automatic doors. Just hopefully I can remember to turn them back on sooner than later this time. So over here we're learning how to program the color on the brick, how to put something up on the brick display, and how to make a sound. Can you run it for me? There's a smiley face. There's the brick lights going to red.
Where'd my green pen go? There it is.
And there's a sound with another eye face. Wait, cool. So they're still working on the head and the ball shooter attachment for this arm. Process of learning how to shoot the pellet shooter and the claw. So we're going to put the claw here and the pellet shooter there. And then we're going to work on a little bit more next week, but we're made good progress today.
Oh, so it's all done.
A lot. It's a big
All
robot.
loaded up.
Lego equipment, book bags, and boys. And remembering to turn automatic doors back on. Woo! We got home from school and robotics and chess club, and Johnny helped me unload all of that equipment back into our spot in the garage. And Joey took care of feeding all of the kitties. That's his afternoon and evening chore, although he enjoys them, so I hesitate to call it that. I, you know, try to cook real food, and we try to eat low carb. Obviously not low fat, but low carb. But tonight was a cheat night. We had bratwurst on potato rolls and some non-GMO Cape Cod potato chips. Yeah, it was not our best dinner ever. No,
it was tasty.
It was tasty every once in a while. I try not to do it, but I had to. So Johnny and I are headed out to Taekwondo for our 7 o'clock class. We're tired, but we're going because it's the right thing. We actually will not have class tomorrow because it's testing weekend, and they are testing lower level belts Friday night and also lower level belts Saturday morning. So yeah, today is our last official class for the week. That was some intense class tonight.
We had to do like 50 burpees.
We had to do 50 roundhouse kicks and I think 50 sit-ups. I mean, jumping jacks. I'm just so wore out. I just can't even hardly remember. It was intense. That class definitely earned the black belt class, you know, degree. It was intense. Johnny and I are having a really good time going around adding Pokemon to gym. Caught a couple of Pokemon we didn't have since there was that new Gen 3 drop this week. Listening to good tunes on the radio. Just having a good time for a few minutes. 108 miles today. Ruby says I could go 95 more miles. It's cold out there at 32. And you know, for as exhausted as I was after that class, I am really in a good mood now. Yeah, it must be that post-exercise euphoria or something. Johnny and I were just having the best time driving around, enjoying Ruby, listening to music, catching a few Pokemon, talking about stuff. It's good. It's good. I like it when the kids talk to me.